I want to revise a statement that I had made early on in my channel introduction or in one or two of my update videos. I said that I wasn't going to bring my video game stuff over here. My main opinion pieces, yes, will not generally be on this channel. But games are a social issue. They are a social construct. They are social events. They are a social thing. They breathe more life because they're one part art, they're one part, you know, writing, they're part mythology. There's so many things that go into video games that while not having an effect in terms of turning us all into psycho killers, there's still social things that have to be talked about, such as sexism and other things. I've been recently watching a lot more deconstructions of people like Anita Sarkeesian or feminist frequency for some of you who have been following her works. And for me, it's not that she wants to make a series about examining tropes. Part of it for me is the fact that she asked for money instead of, oh, I don't know, used games. Surely there are plenty of gamers who would donate to her if she were more of an honest lady. She also takes donations on her website, although she hasn't disclosed how much donations that are there. But now the biggest issue with her and why she's part of why she is not, I repeat, not the right woman to be giving the talk or the conversation um, on women in gaming is that she doesn't address criticism. She does not address criticisms. Now, I'm not talking about when somebody says, oh, she should go back in the kitchen or something ridiculous like that. I'm not talking about the just misogyny for the sake of misogyny, wah, my vagina hurts kind of comments that she receives from butthurt, entitled misogynistic men. It's that when she has constructive criticism thrown her way, she ignores it or she deletes it, as she has been shown to have done. In fact, there's a rather apt user who has a two-part video, though I wish he had done more, on Sarkeesian, her qualifications, and many other things that have to do with Miss Sarkeesian, and basically shows that she has no substance. She barely goes beyond Feminism 101, if that. And she claims that her videos are shown and taught in classrooms, which I actually know a sort of MRA feminist woman whose talks are actually shown in classrooms, and I'm talking about college classrooms, and is actually asked to talk in talks because she actually has something to say, and it's not down to ugh, men bad, women good. Sarkeesian is a con woman. She's literally a con woman. She's taken the controversy and used it to her advantage to make money. And I might add that after months after uh, her fundraiser, her Kickstarter, which got obscene amounts of money, more than the 6,000 she was asking for, we have yet to see a single video. She's doing TED Talks, or TEDx Talks, whatever that whole situation was about. She's being invited by like Activision to talk to their employees about sexism, but she's not really saying anything. A lot of the times, most of what she's doing is it's about her. Anyone who's seen her where she's constantly referring to her comments which I might add that were put on her only video that she has allowed for open and honest, honest dialogue on her videos, that opened when her Kickstarter opened and closed when her Kickstarter closed. Why? So that she could use these comments to show that, oh, she's such a poor victim. Mel the Office Gamer Girl and many other women are also talking out against the fact that oftentimes they are not, I repeat, not targeted by sexism and misogyny in the medium that they work in. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It does happen a little bit more than it doesn't. But to paint this whole industry as being nothing but a misogynist, sexist trope is not a solution. It's not even coming close to a proposal of a problem here. But that's just one of many examples of things that I want to tackle, I want to attack, that I want to come back with a whole bunch of links and deconstructions of Ms. Sarkeesian, amongst other things, because we need a lady like Miss Anita. She's just the wrong woman for the job. She's not in it for women's rights. She's not in it for equality. She doesn't even have qualifications as a game critic or even barely any to be able to make claims about sexism in media. And she tends to focus solely on media. Meanwhile, there are more serious, pressing matters when it comes to things that are actual injustices happening against women. Not that I'm ignoring the injustices against men. Again, I'm middle of the road here because I know where men get taken advantage of as well, and there's a system in place to where it's tit for tat. But no, she is just in it for the exposure, and unfortunately we're part of what gave her the exposure, but she is not a cohesive person to be the mouthpiece for feminism or looking at tropes in gaming. If anything, she is a slap in the face to most of you feminists out there, most of you real feminists, that is, who go beyond Feminism 101 and actually have points, actually have research, actually have something under your belt with clout with which to present, and actually have a point instead of being something where, oh, I'm a girl, and just because I happen to say that there are sexist tropes, I was attacked by misogynistic men. Because, yeah, that's how that works. Partially she was, but and it's no excuse when guys do misogyny just for the sake of of misogyny. But it's not right for her to wear the shroud of a feminist while saying that she doesn't get along with most feminists and act as if this is okay. This is not socially responsible. This is not a way forward for the gaming industry or media in general. And it's not simply just a matter of slapping on a sexist label, because you have to also realize that a lot of this art is created by men. And I'm not trying to water it down, and there are some phenomenal women in the industry, but there's not enough. And to sit there and say, oh, you're a man and you're making sexualized art, you're a disgusting individual. No, I'm sorry. That doesn't work that way. You don't get to say what our form of artistic expression is any more than we can say what your form of artistic expression is. You know, we have to be reasonable, men and women, about these topics. And video games is a battleground. But Anita is not that battleground. I want to try to bury her so that we can move away from her so she can enjoy her money that she unfortunately bilked you dupes out there for, and hasn't produced a product for you, and made every claim to just talk about, oh, poor me, I'm the target of misogyny, when instead of actually addressing the times when people have legitimate criticisms of her credentials or her ability to be objective in this field. And we need objectivity. This doesn't work if we're all emotion and no reason and no logic. It can be so easy to be all, ugh, men bad, women good, or ugh, women bad, men good. It's not that simple. It doesn't work that way. So I'm adding it back in. I'm also adding in that for my $250 investment in my Vita, not including the memory card and the game and everything else, I got $150 back, or excuse me, $140 back. add that into my Christmas money, and I'm already up to $200 towards a Wii U. I'm not trying to brag because I'm getting the deluxe model, but that is going to be the last console I buy because I can play with my girlfriend and her family, which is partly my family. I can play with Joshua, and at least Nintendo apologizes, even if Reggie doesn't. And I hate Reggie. I really hate Reggie. But I digress. That's more of an opinion piece. I don't like the way that the hardware is set up, but I see way more potential, especially as a tool that I can use to further my art, that it's worth, I feel, going into it. And also there's the added burn that I traded in Sony product to buy a Nintendo product, and I'm no longer going to buy Sony products anymore. That means no more PS4, no, not that I was into that, because I don't like the business practices. And Wii U, as well as the PS Vita, were only the beginning of what we're going to see from the gaming industry. And this is another reason why this is a social topic. You guys are paying for diminished returns, and you seem to be okay with this. You're being hurt by the very industry that at times says that if you ever buy a game secondhand, you're worse than a pirate. And in piracy, that's a social issue. So I can't turn my back on the social issues of gaming. So gaming will return to this channel. It's just not going to be opinion append pieces. It's going to be based mostly off of social issues involving gaming.